There's something undeniably thrilling about stepping into a place where time has stood still, where the echoes of the past whisper through broken windows and crumbling walls. Chicago, a city known for its towering skyline, bustling streets, and rich cultural history, hides a darker side beneath its vibrant exterior. From the forgotten corners of historic neighborhoods to the abandoned remnants of once thriving institutions, the Windy City is home to countless locations steeped in mystery and legend. Whether you're a believer in the supernatural or simply intrigued by the stories, these places offer a glimpse into the unknown, drawing in explorers, paranormal investigators, and thrill seekers alike. In this journey through the most haunted places in Chicago, we will uncover the chilling histories behind these forsaken sites. Each location has its own unique tale, one that has been passed down through generations, growing darker with each retelling. Some stories are rooted in documented events, while others have evolved into urban legends, blurring the line between fact and fiction. But whether these places are truly haunted or merely the product of human imagination, they continue to captivate and unsettle those who dare to visit them. From the eerie corridors of the Congress Plaza Hotel, where the ghosts of former guests still linger, to the desolate halls of the old Cook County Hospital, where the cries of the lost seem to echo endlessly, each of these places holds a story waiting to be told. Some of these locations have been featured in paranormal television shows, while others remain shrouded in secrecy, known only to those who seek them out. Whether you're watching from the safety of your home or daring to explore one of these sites in person, the stories we uncover will leave you questioning what lies beyond the veil of the living. So, take a deep breath, steel your nerves, and join us as we step into the darkness, where history, horror, and the supernatural intertwine. The Congress Plaza Hotel, a house of whispers and shadows perched on the southern edge of Grant Park, the Congress Plaza Hotel stands as a grand yet unsettling relic of early 20th century architecture. Built in 1893 to accommodate visitors attending the World's Columbian Exposition, the hotel quickly became a hub for travelers, politicians, and even notorious figures of the Chicago underworld. Its opulent ballrooms and elegant facade made it a symbol of sophistication, but beneath its luxurious surface lies a history steeped in tragedy, scandal, and the lingering presence of those who never truly left. The Congress Plaza Hotel's reputation as a haunted location can be traced back to its early years, when it served as a gathering place for some of the city's most infamous individuals. Al Capone, the notorious gangster who ruled Chicago during Prohibition, was said to have frequented the hotel's speakeasy during the 1920s, using its underground tunnels to transport bootleg liquor. However, the hotel's darkest chapter unfolded in the 1930s, when a tragic fire engulfed the building, claiming the lives of several guests and staff members. According to local legend, the flames were not an accident but the result of a violent conflict between rival gangs vying for control of the city's underworld. Since that night, the hotel has been plagued by strange occurrences, with guests and employees alike reporting eerie phenomena that suggest the spirits of the past have never truly moved on. One of the most frequently reported hauntings at the Congress Plaza Hotel involves the spirit of a young woman known as the Phantom Bride. According to local lore, the bride was preparing for her wedding at the hotel when her fiancé vanished without a trace. Heartbroken and desperate, she reportedly wandered the halls in search of him, her white gown trailing behind her like a ghostly wisp. On the night of the fire, she was found dead in one of the upper-floor ballrooms, her body curled near the grand piano that once played during the hotel's heyday. Since then, guests staying in the ballroom suites have reported hearing the faint sound of a woman sobbing late at night, accompanied by the distant strains of a phantom waltz drifting through the empty halls. Some claim to see the faint outline of a woman in a tattered wedding dress standing near the ballroom's entrance, only for her to vanish when approached. Another well-known presence is that of a former hotel employee named Margaret, who worked at the Congress Plaza during the 1930s. Margaret was known for her kindness and dedication to her guests, but her life ended in tragedy when she was found dead in one of the hotel's stairwells under mysterious circumstances. Staff members have reported feeling an inexplicable chill in the stairwells, particularly near the spot where Margaret was discovered. Some have even claimed to see her ghostly figure descending the steps, her face obscured in shadow, before vanishing into thin air. Others describe the sensation of an unseen presence brushing against their arms as they walk through the corridors, as if Margaret is still fulfilling her duty of guiding guests through the hotel. Perhaps the most unsettling account comes from a group of paranormal investigators who conducted an overnight session in the hotel in 2017. As they explored the basement, one of the team members reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as if something unseen was pressing down on them. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the hallway, extinguishing their lanterns despite all windows and doors being closed. At the same time, another investigator captured what they believed to be an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, on audio equipment. The voice, speaking in a low, raspy tone, was reportedly saying, "I'm still here. I never left." While skeptics may dismiss such claims, the sheer volume of reported sightings and experiences at the Congress Plaza Hotel suggests that the past is far from forgotten. Beyond the individual hauntings, the hotel as a whole exudes an unsettling energy that many attribute to the blood-soaked history of the Chicago underworld. Visitors have reported strange occurrences such as flickering lights, sudden drops in temperature in specific areas of the building, and the sound of muffled voices whispering in languages no one can identify. Some believe the spirits of gangsters and victims of the city's criminal past still roam the halls, trapped in the very place where their lives were cut short. Today, the Congress Plaza Hotel remains a popular destination for history enthusiasts and thrill seekers alike. Whether you believe in ghosts or simply enjoy a good ghost story, the Congress Plaza Hotel offers an unforgettable journey into the shadows of Chicago's past, a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, a graveyard of lost souls tucked away in the quiet suburb of Midlothian, just southwest of Chicago. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is one of the most infamous haunted locations in the Midwest. Established in the mid-1800s, this small, overgrown burial ground was once a peaceful resting place for the area's early settlers. However, over the decades, Bachelor's Grove has become synonymous with paranormal activity, drawing in ghost hunters, urban explorers, and thrill seekers hoping to catch a glimpse of the spirits said to still wander its grounds. The cemetery's eerie reputation is largely attributed to its unsettling atmosphere, its rusted iron gates, cracked headstones, and the ever-present fog that rolls in from the nearby Cal-Sag Channel create an environment that feels untouched by time. But beyond its physical decay, Bachelor's Grove is steeped in legend, with countless accounts of ghostly apparitions, phantom vehicles, and inexplicable phenomena that have cemented its place among the most haunted places in Chicago. One of the most enduring legends associated with Bachelor's Grove is that of Resurrection Mary, a spectral hitchhiker whose story has become one of the most famous ghost tales in Illinois. According to local lore, Mary was a young woman who attended a dance at the nearby O. Henry Ballroom in the 1930s. After an argument with her date, she stormed out into the night, only to be struck and killed by a passing car on Archer Avenue. Since her death, countless drivers have reported picking up a young woman dressed in a white gown near the ballroom, only to find her missing when they glance in the rearview mirror. Some claim she vanishes as soon as they reach the gates of Bachelor's Grove, as if she is forever trying to return to her final resting place. Beyond the legend of Resurrection Mary, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is said to be home to a multitude of restless spirits. Visitors have reported seeing a wide range of apparitions, from shadowy figures moving between the headstones to full-bodied specters standing silently beneath the trees. One of the most frequently encountered spirits is that of a man in a tattered suit, often seen near the cemetery's central cross. Witnesses describe him as a solemn figure, his face obscured by the dim light of dusk, his gaze fixed on the horizon as if waiting for someone who never arrives. Some believe he was a former caretaker who died in the early 20th century, while others speculate that he is the spirit of a man who took his own life on the grounds. Another chilling presence is that of a woman in a black veil, often seen standing near a small, crumbling mausoleum. According to local legend, the woman was a grieving widow who spent her final days mourning at her husband's grave, eventually passing away alone in the cemetery. Some claim to hear the sound of soft weeping late at night, even when no one is present. Others have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of sorrow when approaching the mausoleum, as if the weight of the widow's grief lingers in the air. Perhaps the most unsettling phenomenon associated with Bachelor's Grove is the appearance of a phantom red car. According to multiple eyewitnesses, the vehicle appears on the road leading to the cemetery, its headlights glowing faintly in the darkness. When drivers attempt to follow the car, it seems to vanish into thin air, leaving behind only the sound of tires screeching and the faint scent of gasoline. Some believe the car is linked to the legend of Resurrection Mary, while others claim it belongs to a lost soul trapped in an endless cycle of searching for the cemetery's entrance. Paranormal investigators have flocked to Bachelor's Grove over the years, eager to document the strange occurrences that continue to plague the site. In 2009, a team of researchers captured what they believed to be an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, on audio equipment while exploring the cemetery's northern corner. The voice, speaking in a low, raspy tone, was reportedly saying, "Leave, it's not safe." While skeptics may dismiss such claims, the sheer volume of reported sightings and experiences at Bachelor's Grove suggests that the cemetery is a place where the veil between worlds feels unnervingly thin. Despite its haunting reputation, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery remains a popular destination for those drawn to the unknown. Whether you believe in ghosts or simply enjoy a good ghost story, the eerie energy of Bachelor's Grove is undeniable, a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. The Hull House, a haunting legacy of suffering and despair tucked away in Chicago's near west side, lies the Hull House, a historic settlement house founded in 1889 by social reformer Jane Addams. Originally established to assist immigrants and the impoverished, the Hull House became a beacon of hope for those seeking refuge in a rapidly industrializing city. However, beneath its noble mission lies a history steeped in tragedy and despair, an atmosphere that has given rise to tales of the supernatural, drawing in both history enthusiasts and paranormal investigators alike. The Hull House was built on the site of a former poorhouse, a place where the destitute, the sick, and the mentally ill were housed in deplorable conditions. Many of the residents of the poorhouse suffered from diseases, malnutrition, and neglect, leading to a high mortality rate. It is believed that the suffering endured by these individuals has left an indelible mark on the land, creating an environment ripe for paranormal activity. Locals have long whispered about the spirits of the poorhouse's former inhabitants, who are said to still roam the halls of the Hull House, their anguish echoing through the walls. One of the most chilling accounts involves the spirit of a young girl named Elsie, who is said to have died in the poorhouse after contracting a severe illness. According to legend, Elsie would often wander the halls of the Hull House, her laughter echoing through the empty rooms. Witnesses claim to hear the sound of a child giggling, only to find no one when they investigate. Some have even reported seeing a faint outline of a girl peering around corners, her eyes wide with innocence before she vanishes into thin air. Those who have stayed in the building have described a sudden drop in temperature in certain rooms, accompanied by the sensation of being watched, often by an unseen presence lurking just beyond their line of sight. Another well-known spirit is that of a former resident named Thomas, who was known for his kindness and dedication to the community. Tragically, Thomas fell victim to a violent crime while walking home from the Hull House one evening. His spirit is said to linger within the building, offering comfort to those in need. Visitors have reported feeling a sudden warmth in their chest while walking through the main hall, as if being embraced by an unseen presence. Some have even claimed to hear a gentle voice calling out to them, urging them to help the lost. The Hull House has attracted numerous paranormal investigators over the years, all eager to document the strange occurrences that continue to haunt its grounds. In 2015, a team of researchers captured what they believed to be an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, on audio equipment while exploring the basement, where the poorhouse once operated. The voice, speaking in a low, raspy tone, was reportedly saying, "I'm still here. Help me find peace." While skeptics may dismiss such claims, the sheer volume of reported sightings and experiences at the Hull House suggests that the past is far from forgotten. Rose Hill Cemetery, a resting place of eternal sorrow nestled in the uptown neighborhood of Chicago, Rose Hill Cemetery stands as one of the city's most historic and expansive burial grounds. Established in 1859, the cemetery spans over 350 acres and serves as the final resting place for thousands of Chicago's most prominent figures, including industrialists, politicians, and Civil War veterans. With its towering mausoleums, intricate statuary, and winding pathways lined with ancient oaks, Rose Hill exudes a sense of grandeur and solemnity. However, beneath its picturesque exterior lies a history steeped in tragedy, sorrow, and the lingering presence of those who never truly left. Rose Hill Cemetery's reputation as a haunted location is largely attributed to the sheer number of souls buried within its grounds, many of whom met untimely or tragic ends. Among the most well-known spirits associated with the cemetery is that of a woman known as the Weeping Widow. According to local legend, the widow was the wife of a wealthy businessman who perished in a fire that consumed their home in the early 20th century. Distraught and heartbroken, she spent the rest of her days wandering the cemetery, visiting her husband's grave and weeping beneath the cold stone markers. Some say she never truly left, and visitors have reported hearing the faint sound of sobbing echoing through the cemetery's quiet corridors, even on nights when the grounds are completely deserted. Another infamous apparition tied to Rose Hill Cemetery is that of a little boy who is said to play among the gravestones, his laughter ringing out in the dead of night. According to local lore, the child was the son of a grieving mother who had passed away shortly after giving birth. The mother, unable to bear life without her son, reportedly took her own life and was buried alongside her child. Some visitors have claimed to see the boy running between the tombstones, only for him to vanish when approached. Others have described feeling an overwhelming sense of sorrow when passing by the family's grave, as if the mother's grief still lingers in the air. Beyond these individual hauntings, Rose Hill Cemetery is said to be home to a variety of other paranormal phenomena. Visitors have reported feeling sudden drops in temperature in certain sections of the cemetery, particularly near the older, more secluded areas where the graves of the city's earliest settlers lie. Some have claimed to see shadowy figures moving between the headstones, only to disappear when approached. Others have described hearing the distant sound of a choir singing hymns, despite no such music playing in the surrounding area. The Chicago Water Tower, a beacon of sorrow and shadows standing tall against the backdrop of Chicago's bustling streets, the Chicago Water Tower is an iconic landmark that has witnessed the city's transformation since its construction in 1869. Originally built to house a water pump that supplied fresh water to the city, the tower survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, becoming a symbol of resilience and hope. However, beneath its historic significance lies a haunting legacy that has earned the water tower a place among the most haunted places in Chicago. The origins of the water tower's haunted reputation can be traced back to its early years when the building was used as a makeshift prison during the aftermath of the Great Chicago Fire. The fire had left thousands homeless and desperate, and the water tower was repurposed to house those accused of looting and other crimes committed in the chaos following the disaster. Many of those incarcerated within its walls were subjected to harsh conditions and unjust treatment, leading to a series of tragic deaths that left an indelible mark on the building. Visitors and locals alike have reported a variety of strange occurrences within and around the water tower. Some claim to hear the distant sound of muffled cries and the clanking of chains echoing through the empty spaces, reminiscent of the suffering that once filled its walls. Others describe an overwhelming sense of sadness that envelopes them as they approach the tower, as if the building itself mourns the lives lost during its time as a prison. The feeling of being watched is a common theme among those who visit, with many reporting the sensation of unseen eyes following them from the shadows. Beyond the water tower itself, the surrounding area is steeped in history and tragedy. The nearby pumping station, once part of the same water system, has its own share of eerie tales. Visitors have reported seeing fleeting shadows darting between the buildings and hearing the sound of water rushing through the pipes, though the system has long since been decommissioned. Some believe the spirits of those who died during the fire or were imprisoned within the water tower still linger, their sorrow and despair seeping into the very fabric of the site. Today, the Chicago Water Tower remains a beloved landmark, attracting tourists and history buffs alike. Yet, for those who dare to explore its surroundings at night, the lingering presence of the past is impossible to ignore. Whether it's the sound of phantom footsteps echoing through the alleyways or the sight of a spectral figure vanishing into the darkness. The Stockyards, a slaughterhouse of the damned deep in the industrial heart of Chicago's back of the yards neighborhood, The remnants of the historic Union Stockyards stand as a grim reminder of the city's brutal past. Once the largest meatpacking district in the world, the stockyards were the epicenter of Chicago's booming meat industry, supplying millions of Americans with beef, pork, and poultry. However, the slaughterhouse's legacy is not only one of economic success, it is also steeped in blood, suffering, and the lingering presence of those who never truly left. The stockyards were established in 1865, and for decades, the district was a hub of industry, employing thousands of workers who toiled in its slaughterhouses under grueling conditions. The work was dangerous, with accidents occurring frequently. Workers were maimed by machinery, crushed by runaway livestock, or trampled in the chaos of the pens. The air was thick with the stench of blood and smoke, and the cries of both animals and men echoed through the corridors of the slaughterhouses. Over the years, numerous deaths were recorded, many of them unsolved or dismissed as industrial accidents. Some workers disappeared without a trace, their bodies never recovered, while others were found in the most grotesque circumstances, fueling rumors of curses, restless spirits, and the lingering echoes of suffering that refused to fade. As the meatpacking industry declined in the mid-20th century, the stockyards were gradually abandoned, leaving behind rusted gates, crumbling buildings, and the eerie silence of a place once teeming with life and death in equal measure. Today, much of the area has been redeveloped, but the few remaining structures and the nearby Bubbly Creek, the infamous polluted waterway where the industry disposed of its waste, continue to carry an unsettling energy. Visitors and paranormal investigators who have explored the site report an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the land itself is haunted by the suffering that once filled its air. One of the most chilling accounts comes from a group of urban explorers who ventured into the ruins of one of the old slaughterhouses in the early 2000s. As they navigated the decaying corridors, they reported hearing the distant sound of cattle mooing, despite the fact that the last of the stockyards had closed decades earlier. Some claimed to see the flickering lights of a phantom slaughterhouse, where shadowy figures appeared to be working the killing floor in an endless loop of death. Others described the overwhelming scent of blood and decay, even though the building had long since been abandoned. The group fled the premises in terror, swearing they would never return. The LaSalle Bank Building, a house of whispers and shadows perched in the heart of Chicago's financial district, the LaSalle Bank Building stands as a towering relic of the city's architectural history. Completed in 1934, the 36-story Art Deco skyscraper was once a hub of commerce, housing one of Chicago's most prestigious financial institutions. However, beneath its polished marble floors and gilded elevators lies a history steeped in tragedy and the lingering presence of those who never truly left. The building's haunted reputation can be traced back to its early years, when it was known as the LaSalle National Bank. During the Great Depression, the bank was a beacon of stability in a city struggling to survive. However, the economic hardships of the era brought despair to many, and the building became the site of numerous tragedies. Desperate individuals, driven to the edge by financial ruin, leapt from the upper floors, their bodies landing on the cold concrete below. Others took their own lives within the building's offices, unable to bear the weight of their misfortunes. These deaths left an indelible mark on the structure, and over the decades, countless employees and visitors have reported strange and unsettling experiences within its walls. One of the most frequently reported hauntings involves the spirit of a former bank executive named Harold Kramer. Kramer was a high-ranking official at the bank in the 1940s, known for his ruthless business tactics and relentless pursuit of profit. According to legend, Kramer was found dead in his office in 1949, his body slumped over his desk with a look of pure terror frozen on his face. His death was ruled a heart attack, but rumors swirled that he had been involved in a shady financial scheme and had been threatened by powerful figures. Since his death, employees who have worked late at night claim to hear the sound of a man muttering to himself in the executive offices, as if Kramer is still reviewing his ledgers. Some have even reported seeing the faint outline of a man in a 1940s-era suit standing near the elevators, only for him to vanish when approached. The Chicago Theater, a stage of eternal performance nestled in the heart of Chicago's Loop, the Chicago Theater stands as a majestic icon of the city's rich entertainment history. Opened in 1921, The venue was once a bustling hub for vaudeville, silent films, and live performances. Its opulent design, complete with a grand marquee and an ornate interior, made it a beloved fixture in the city's cultural landscape. However, beneath its glimmering surface lies a history steeped in tragedy and the lingering presence of those who once graced its stage. The Chicago Theater's haunted reputation is largely attributed to the countless performers, crew members, and patrons who have passed through its doors over the decades. Many believe that the building has become a vortex of residual energy, where the spirits of those who spent their lives in the world of theater have become tethered to the very stage they once called home. From the early days of vaudeville to the golden age of cinema, the theater has witnessed both triumph and despair, leaving behind a legacy of ghosts who refuse to leave the spotlight. One of the most famous hauntings involves the spirit of a young actress named Lila, who was said to have died tragically in the 1930s. Lila was a rising star in the world of theater, known for her captivating performances and radiant smile. However, her life was cut short when she fell from the balcony during a rehearsal, landing on the stage below. According to local legend, her spirit has never left the theater, and visitors often report hearing the sound of a woman humming softly in the empty auditorium late at night. Some have even claimed to see a fleeting figure in vintage stage attire, her form flickering like a candle flame before vanishing into the shadows. Another chilling presence is that of a former stage manager known only as Mr. Thompson. He was a beloved figure in the theater community, known for his meticulous attention to detail and unwavering dedication to the shows he oversaw. After his death in the 1950s, cast and crew members began to notice strange occurrences during performances: lights flickering, props moving on their own, and the faint sound of a voice calling out cues from the wings. Some have even reported feeling a sudden chill in the air when entering the backstage area, as if an unseen presence is watching from the shadows. The phantom hitchhiker of the Northwest Side. For decades, the legend of Resurrection Mary has haunted the winding roads of Chicago's Norwood Park neighborhood, weaving a tale of tragedy, unfulfilled love, and the lingering presence of a spirit that refuses to rest. Known as the most famous phantom hitchhiker in Chicago, Mary's story has become one of the city's most enduring urban legends, with countless drivers claiming to have picked up a beautiful young woman only to find her mysteriously vanishing before reaching her supposed destination. The origins of the legend are murky, with multiple versions of the story circulating over the years. One of the earliest accounts dates back to the 1930s, when Mary was said to be a young woman who attended a dance at the O. Henry Ballroom, located near the intersection of Harlem Avenue and Touhy Avenue. According to legend, Mary was a strikingly beautiful woman who caught the eye of many men at the ballroom, including a suitor who asked her to dance. However, the evening turned tragic when she was allegedly insulted by her dance partner, leading her to storm out into the night in tears. As she walked along the lonely stretch of Archer Avenue, she was struck and killed by a passing car, her body later found at the gates of Resurrection Cemetery, the final resting place that would give her legend its name. Since that fateful night, countless drivers have reported encountering a spectral hitchhiker matching Mary's description. The typical account involves a driver spotting a beautiful young woman dressed in a flowing white dress standing alone on the roadside, her long hair cascading over her shoulders. She is said to appear most frequently near the intersection of Harlem Avenue and Irving Park Road, where she would ask for a ride home. Some drivers have reported feeling an inexplicable chill as she entered their vehicles, while others described the scent of roses filling the car as she sat in the back seat. However, as the driver glances in the rearview mirror, they find the back seat completely empty, the woman having vanished without a trace. Echoes beyond the veil. As we bring our journey through Chicago's most haunted places to a close, one truth remains undeniable: these locations are more than crumbling structures and forgotten streets. They are echoes of lives lived, tragedies endured, and mysteries left unresolved. From the sorrowful whispers of the Congress Plaza Hotel to the phantom footsteps echoing through the halls of the LaSalle Bank building, each of these places carries a story steeped in history and the supernatural. Whether you believe in ghosts or simply enjoy a good ghost story, the accounts we've uncovered serve as a reminder that the past is never truly gone, it lingers, waiting for someone to listen. Chicago, with its towering skyline and bustling streets, may seem like a city of the present, but beneath its modern veneer lies a world where the dead refuse to rest. The spirits of Resurrection Mary, the lost souls of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, and the tormented echoes of the stockyards all speak to a city that has witnessed both triumph and tragedy in equal measure. These are not just places of horror, they are testaments to human resilience, to the stories that refuse to fade into obscurity. And for those who dare to explore them, whether in person or through the tales we share, they offer a glimpse into the unknown, a brush with the otherworldly that leaves a lasting mark. If you've enjoyed this descent into the shadows, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales that blur the line between reality and the paranormal. Share your own experiences with haunted locations. Have you ever felt the presence of something unseen? Or perhaps you have a haunted place in Chicago you'd like us to investigate next. Drop your suggestions below, and remember, the world is full of forgotten places waiting to whisper their secrets. Until next time, keep your flashlights close and your instincts sharper. The past is never truly gone, it's just waiting for someone to listen.